One of the questions I get on a regular basis is, James, I have prospects that I were really sure were going to become customers. They gave me great buying signals, but actually the business hasn't happened yet. Is there a reason for that? I go through, and in my life and in my business career, I've identified 4 main reasons as to why a prospect will not come across the line in when you expect them to be. And I'm going to talk through what I call my 4 P's of prospect delay. And the first one today I'm going to talk through is priority. The reality is, when you engage with a prospect, the business, and to close that business, is a priority for you. But the reality for your prospect is it may not be a priority. I've been in a situation myself where I've had a large partnership opportunity that I thought was going to come to fruition, and for some unknown reason, the priority changed at the prospect side. And therefore, when I thought something was going to happen, didn't happen at the same time for them. So what are the things that you can do when a prospect has a priority issue? The first thing is, don't get frustrated. I've seen in some cases companies really try and reach out and be difficult or be antagonistic with the prospect and actually try and indicate whether the deal was even there in the first place. That's the worst thing you can do. The reality is, if you start being antagonistic and show frustration towards the prospect, it's going to probably result in you losing the business completely. The next thing is to ask the right questions. Successful sales is always around asking the right questions. Those questions might be, where does this fit in their priority list at the moment? Is there a reason why it's dropped off their priority list? Is there anything you can do to help move it up their priority list? Using questions that you can ask can identify with that prospect as to what's happening, and then you can adjust what you say or what you do as a result of the answers given. If you ask the right questions, you can then see whether this is just going to be a short blip or whether it's something you're going to have to put on the back burner for a few months or years even. The third thing I'd always say in this case is, don't give up. So many people that I engage with give up. They think it's never going to happen. Sometimes prospects need constant nurturing and nudging and prompting to make sure that they still know that you're there and still feel that actually the project or the activity that they've got has not gone from the back of your mind either. By careful nudging, by careful prompting, maybe the odd call every month or 2 months, depending on the timelines given, and you can ensure you stay at the top of their mindset for when the project does get back up the priority list. So there are 3 things that you can do when you've got a prospect that's given you a priority delay on a piece of business that can ensure that you don't lose that business for the long term. Make sure you ask the right questions, make sure you're polite and courteous to them, and make sure you don't give up and continue to work through things over a period of time. So that's P number 1 on our 4 Ps of prospect delay. P number 2 is all around pain and the pain point for that prospect. And let's look at the next video where we'll go through how you can ensure that you understand the pain points of the prospect itself.